In this video, I'm going to show you how you can fix a common problem when manually importing bank statements from your credit card into Xero. Watch now for a demonstration. Okay, today I'm going to show you quite an easy fix in Xero for a quite common problem. So it's when you look to manually import a credit card statement into Xero. And it basically, the way kind of credit card statements are made out, that when you input them manually into Xero, it means that basically any expenses you have on your card show as income received, and any direct debits you have from your business account to pay off your credit card show as expenses. And so this is going to create a problem in the balance sheet with your credit card. So it will basically show that rather than your credit card, when you've got a series of transactions or payments on the credit card, rather than it showing as a liability on the balance sheet, so something that the company owes to the credit card company, it shows as an asset, as if it's like money in a bank account, which is incorrect. The way to avoid this is ideally you'd have a credit card which is can link to Xero and basically have automatic bank feeds, and this will remove this error. But if you don't have a credit card which is linked to Xero, you're going to have to manually import these statements. It's going to create this problem every time you do it, but it's a really easy fix. So let's just have a quick look at an example. So here we are, we've got a credit card statement which has been imported into Xero, and I'm just going to show you a transaction here. So we've got what we've got here, S&M Flooring Limited, £455 received, but this is incorrect because actually this was an expense on the credit card. So this is me paying for something for the business. I'll just go into the transaction in the CSV bank statement as well, which I've highlighted in yellow. You can see here SM Flooring Limited. It's showing as income received rather than having a minus next to it. So let's just go ahead and process this in transaction in Xero, just to show you what the problem will be. So if we do this, we're basically going to take what the contact is and put it into the who, create a new contact. Then we're going to choose the account. So this is going to be a repairs and maintenance will do for us. Let's take VAT off just to avoid any confusion. I'm going to click OK. And what we'll do then is we would go through the rest of our transactions and do the same. What I'm going to do is just flick onto the balance sheet just to show you the issue that's created. So we've gone to accounting and then balance sheet. So we've got there cash at bank and in hand, £455. So that's basically showing that one payment on the credit card, which should be an expense, is basically showing as an asset in the company's balance sheet. It's treating it as if the credit card has a positive balance of £455, which is clearly incorrect. What should happen is the credit card should show in as creditors, so it should be £455 in creditors amounts due within 1 year. So in this category here, so it's clearly there's an issue here. So what I'm going to do now is show you how to fix it. So the first thing to do, let's go back to the dashboard. We're going to click into the American Express, which is the credit card. And the first thing we're going to have to do is undo the transaction that we've just processed. So we're going to go on account transactions. And see there's one in there which is reconciled, so we need to unreconcile that. So we're going to click remove and redo. Then we're going to click back to reconcile. And this is the quite fiddly bit. There's not a quick way of doing this, but what we're going to have to do is basically go through each of the transactions because they're all incorrect and delete them one by one. So clearly this is going to take some time. So what I'm going to do is just show you how to do that quickly. So delete statement line, yes. And you have to do that for each of the transactions from the statement you just imported, which will take a bit of time, but it shouldn't take too long. So once you've gone ahead and do that, I'm not going to go through all of them, but just to give you an idea of how it works. But the main thing is you've got all of the imported statement lines from the statement have been deleted, and you've got no reconciled transactions from that statement. We're then going to flick back to the imported statement. And we're going to have to basically do a bit of a manual adjustment to make it to fix the error. So what we're going to do is we're going to click and add a new column. So insert one column left. Then all we're going to do is let's call it corrected amount. And then we're going to basically do a really simple formula, equals negative, and then click on that cell there. And you see now it's basically, so by the way, I'm using Google Sheets here. You might be using Excel, which will be very similar. You see now that that kind of negative balance has turned to positive, which is what we want. I'm going to basically copy that and paste it to all the transactions in the statement. And you'll see now that they've all reversed. They've gone from being showing as a expense to being income received, or vice versa. But the important thing is we've got here the transaction which we processed in Xero before, which was showing as a positive 455, is now showing as a negative 455. So what we're going to do now is, now we've made that adjustment, we're going to download as a comma separated values. We're then going to flick back to Xero. Remember, all of these will have been deleted in your one. We're then going to import a new statement. So click on Manage an Account, import a statement. What we can do then is we can just drag and drop the downloaded file into there, and then click Next. So we just need to kind of make sure that the columns in the statement align correctly. So the key thing we're interested in is the date, transaction date, description, and then the transaction amount. And we can also align, these are the transaction, but remember we're using corrected amount, as that's the name of the column we've called it. So we're going to click that as transaction amount, and then we can click import, complete import. Okay, so once that's done, what we can do is just quickly search through and find the transaction we were looking at earlier. Okay, and there we are at the top. We've got now, see, rather than it saying received as it did before, now it says spent, which is what we want. So what we're going to do then is we're going to process this transaction again. So copy the name of the contact into who, choose the account. So we're going to do repairs, and then click OK. And what we do now is flip back to the balance sheet. And what we'll see now is Amex, so that's the credit card. You can see it now correctly shows as a creditor, so something that the company owes, and we owe the credit card company, rather than before it showed as a cash at bank in hand, so an asset in the company's balance sheet, which is incorrect. So there we are. That's the quick demonstration on how you can fix that common error when you're manually importing credit card statements. But yeah, as discussed previously, the easiest way is to basically have your credit card linked directly into Xero, and that will remove that error. But you need to have a credit card which is aligned to Xero, and not all of them are. Hope you find this video useful. If so, please remember to like and subscribe for further content.